So today we're going to be doing a lot of balance. So if you need to have a balance, say like you need to stand by a door or a wall, then make sure that you're in the right spot. So let's get started. Let's do a quick warm up. We're going to have our feet hip width apart. And the first thing that I want you to do is to give your toes a little wiggle, right? And I'm even going to take my socks off for this. I want you to give your toes a little wiggle, feel the arches lift, feel your feet just connect to the mat underneath you. You're then just going to bend and stretch the knees and just gently swing, swing, swing the arms, okay? We are then going to place our hands onto our hips and you're going to rock your pelvis forward and back. So I'm going to stick my tailbone up and then I'm going to pull my pubic bone towards my belly button. So we've got this movement through our hips, which helps us to find our neutral pelvis. And neutral just means your natural position, okay? So where it naturally sits. You're then going to imagine 3 circles, your hips, your ribs, your shoulders and your collarbone, and they all float one on top of the other. And then I want you to imagine someone grabs you by a little string on the crown of your head and pulls you up 1 inch. Exactly. From there, if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. As we inhale, we grow really tall through the spine. And as we exhale, we relax through our jaw, through our hands, through our shoulders. We're going to do 1 more breath here. Big inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine or visualize those abdominals gently contracting as you breathe everything out. Okay? We're then going to open the eyes and just scan the head from right to left. So no stress, no tension. We just gently look over our shoulder, maybe a little bit further with each repetition. We're then going to bring our head to center. You're going to nod your right ear to your right shoulder, roll your chin to your chest, and then take your left ear to your left shoulder. And then you're going to reverse. So you're just going to do a couple of these semicircles forward. So the aim is that we want to lengthen the back of the neck, yeah? We don't want to tilt the head back and compress. We want to feel lots of length. You're then going to finish your last repetition with your chin to your chest, and you're going to let your head float up. You're going to lift your shoulders all the way up by your ears, and then you're going to take a big exhale, drop them down the back. And this is like, sound it out. You're on mute, right? Let everything go. Good, 2 more. Release. Last one. And drop. From there, we're going to do 3 shoulder rolls backwards, opening the chest. 3 and 2 and 1. We're then going to take our hands onto our shoulders and we're going to roll our elbows back. 3 and 2 and 1. We're then going to let go of our arms and we're going to do 3 big arm circles back. 3 and 2 and 1. You're then going to finish with your hands all the way up to the ceiling. And you're going to give me 10 side reaches. So you're going to touch the ceiling with the right hand and touch the ceiling with the left hand. And this should give you the feeling like somebody's pulling you up by your wrist and stretching from your hip bone to your fingertips. This is a really nice alternative to a side bend as it keeps the spine in lovely long line and gives us that length and elongation. So you're going to finish your last one on each side, and I want you to interlace your fingers and take your hands behind your head. So I'm going to come a bit closer to the camera so you can see. From here, we're going to do a gentle chin tuck, and this is to strengthen the back of the neck. So I want you to just very slightly tilt the chin forward, and then I want you to pull the chin back. So you get this elongation in the back of the neck. So we little push forward, big push back. So I don't want you to over exaggerate this position. We probably spend enough time like this anyway. I want you to focus on pulling back. It's as if you press your head into your hands, and it should give us this feeling of length in the back of the neck, right? And we want to have that feeling, pressing the head into the hands, growing 2 inches as we pull our chin back. So from there, I want you to keep that feeling of length in the back of your neck, and I want you to just very gently rotate your rib cage to the right, come back through center, and rotate your rib cage to the left. And we're just going to do a few of these from side to side. Okay, just gently rotating from left to right. No stress, no tension, just let the neck gently glide from side, or the body glide from side to side, okay? From there, we're going to bring our body back to center, and we're going to take our hands onto our hips. Now, from there, we want to warm up those legs. So I want you to just walk on the spot for 10 repetitions. So you're just lifting the heels up and then pressing them down, okay? And this is, we want to feel really, really strong through our base. We're going to be doing lots of balance. So we want to make sure we've got lots of sensitivity in our feet. From there, you're going to give me 10 heel raises. So both heels rise up, both heels lower down, up and down, up and down. So remembering, we don't want to press the hips forward. We want to slide our back up a little imaginary wall, lift and lower. Everyone's going to give me 2 more here. Last one. I then want you to open those feet a little bit wider, and we're going to do a hip hinge. So remembering that we want to fold in half from our waist. So you're going to push your hips back, keep your spine straight, keep your waist long as you lean forward. You're then going to drive your hips forward and stand up. So for those of you who know how to do your perfect hip hinge, crack on. I want at least 10 to 12 reps at a nice pace. And if this is your first time doing a hip hinge with me, I want you to turn to the side just so I can have a little look. And I want you to think it's about folding over right from that hip crease, keeping your waist and your spine long so that we can have a little look. Good. A good way to think of it is sticking your bum out as much as you can. Yes, you hinge from your hips. Beautiful. And lift up. Yes, guys. All around, great technique. Only thing I would say to everyone, hip, this is perfect. Don't forget about upper body. I want you to think of rolling your shoulder blades down your back and kind of squeezing them together. So we keep that lovely connection and posture all the way through our back the whole time. You're going to give me 2 more here, okay? Whichever, yeah. And then you're going to finish your last one standing up nice and tall. So from there, we're going to do a squat, okay? So you can have your hands in a little prayer position for me. You hinge the hips, same way we did, but this time you bend your knees, you keep your chest up, you push the floor away and you stand. Yes. So for my ladies who are here, who know what I'm going to do, you guys crack on with your squats. If you're new and you're not too sure, take your time. Yeah, but everyone, it's about keeping that chest up, hinging from those hips, bending those knees. So we want to keep mobility in our ankles, in our knees, through our hip joint. And this is the most functional exercise you can do. We want to be warm, right? So you're going to give me 3 more here. Yes, get that blood pumping a bit. 2. Good, guys. Last one here. And then coming up. Good. So from there, we're going to take the feet so they're just underneath the hips. We're going to turn to the side. Well, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. And we're going to do a little mini hip hinge. So I bend my knees, I push my bottom back, and I keep my spine long. I'm going to take my weight into my right leg, and I'm going to tap my left toe back, and then together. Left foot goes back, and then together. And the aim is that we keep a nice deep bend in our right leg, which means we have to work our glute, and we point the other foot back, or we tap it behind. So all your weight is forward over this leg. Spine is long. The feeling of lift through the abdominals, and we're just tapping that toe back and forward, back and forward. Good. If it feels easy, I want 2 inches deeper in your plie, in your bend. Yes, Kay. It was there all along. Good, guys. You're going to finish your last one. Oh, hi, Jane. I didn't see you there. Step your last one in and then stand up nice and straight. Stretch those legs. Good. Let's do the same thing on the left. So we come into our mini hinge. Okay, knees bent. Push the hips back. Weight goes into our left leg this time. And we tap our right foot back and then together. Right foot goes back and then together. Remember, keeping a deep bend. Squeezing those shoulder blades together and down the back. Yeah? And you want to think long line from your toe all the way out to the crown of your head, yeah? Every exercise is about finding a little bit of length. Good, staying low. Everyone's going to give me 4 more here. 4. Good. 3. Good. 2. Last one. Step those feet together. Stretch those legs. Nice. Okay. So this has prepared us for standing swimming. So we think of swimming on the mat, you know, when we lift opposite arm, opposite leg. We're going to do it standing. So this is going to increase our balance challenge. So if you need to be, you know, near a wall, then you can. Exactly the same position. We bend our knees, we come into our mini hinge. You take your weight into your right leg and you reach your left leg back. Now, I've kind of just got my toe there to help, and I'm going to reach my arms all the way up by my ears. Now from there, I'm going to lift my back leg up and down, up and down. So I get into my glutes. I've got to work the front of the hip, and I've got to keep my balance as we take our hip into extension. 6 more here. 6. Good. 5. Try keep the body nice and still. Just the leg moves. 4. And 3. Good. 2. Last one. Can you hold that leg in the air just for a second? Yes. And then step those feet together and then relax. Ah. Good. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. That's the joy about Pilates, right? There's always the other side. Okay. I'm going to do this one with you. So we come into our mini hip hinge. This time our weight is in our left leg. We'll do it this way. And we're going to step our right leg back. Okay. So from there, you're going to reach those arms up by your ears. Now show me that lovely long line before you start. Make sure that head's not down there. Lift the eye line up. Here we go. Back leg lift. 10. And 9. And 8. And 7. And 6. And 5. Good work, guys. 4. Keep that balance. 3. This is tough. 2. Last one. See if you can hold it an extra second. Reach through the fingertips and through the toes. And then step the feet together and relax. Give those legs a lovely little shake. Okay, gang. So from there, the next exercise we're going to do is a curtsy lunge. Now this is great for strengthening our hips, but it's also great for our balance, okay? Because it's forcing us to step into pattern. So we're going to do the pattern first. I want you to start with wide legs for me. I want you to step your right leg behind you as if you're going to curtsy. That's it. We're not going to bend yet. We're just going to place the leg there. That's it. And then you're going to step the feet back out wide. And then you're going to step your left foot behind. That's it. And then in front. I just want you to just practice that side to side. So we step one leg behind and then back to center. And then we step the other leg behind. See? So already this can be challenging, right? Your balance is slightly compromised. You're having to exchange weight. We're having to cross the legs, right? And the coordination of everything. Now, ideally, you want to have your hips facing the front. And if this feels easy, you're going to add in a knee bend, okay? So you're going to cross the leg behind. You're going to bend both of your knees. You're going to stand up tall, step those feet back together. That's it. Step the other leg behind. Bend both of those knees. Push the floor away and stand up. Good. So always make sure before you bend your knees, you've got that secure place. Imagine. I mean, it sounds weird saying the king. I always, want to say the queen, but, imagine mom. And if you want to do the arms to help, you can. You want to make it more sporty, you can, yeah? And I want you to do a couple more of these. Now, these are a great exercise that you can add weights to, or if it feels good as it is, you keep it going. The aim is we want to keep that spine nice and tall. Yes, look at these. We're fit for Buckingham Palace, I think, everyone. Good. Now, can you give me your last one? I want everyone to just hold a squat wherever they are. Can you give me 10 little pulses downwards? We go 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4. Smile when it gets tough. Last 2, 1, and step those feet out. We've got to do the other side. So when you're ready, step that foot across. Hips face the front, bend both knees, get down low. Here we go. 10 pulses, 10, and 9, and 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and step those feet together. Give those legs a lovely little shake. So, let's talk about balance. We've kind of already been talking about it. But we have two types of balance, which I'm sure I've told you before. You have static balance, so just holding a position and holding your balance. And you have dynamic balance, which is kind of what we've already been doing, right? Moving as we balance. So the first thing we're going to do is tree pose. So this is actually yoga. I'm stealing it from yoga, but I think it's a good one to do. If you want to use a wall to hold on to, I want you to stand on your best leg. And you're going to take your other leg, you're either going to place it on the inside of your thigh, or if you've got the mobility and you can place, on the inside of your shin, and if you've got the mobility and you can place it on the inside of your thigh, go there. So you've got two options, here or here. You've got to choose what's right for you. One thing I want you to be mindful of is not to sink into your hip. You have to think of those 3 circles stacked. And if you can't touch, if you can't pop the shin on the ankle, just lift the leg and hold the leg there. So there's plenty of options. Now I want you to try and just hold that balance for me. I want you to just take a couple nice deep breaths there. And as you balance, I want you to think of lifting through that crown of the head, okay? Now it doesn't matter how long you hold it for. Doesn't matter if you wobble. Doesn't matter if you have to use the walk, yeah? Yes, ladies. Good. Balance is our first defense against fractures. So this is our priority, right? All the other things are important, but this is important too, yeah? So pop that foot down, give those legs a little shake. Shall we try the other side? Yes. Our other good side. That's what I like to say. There's no bad sides, is there? So find your balance, choose your position, whichever it may be, and just take a couple nice deep breaths. Find a visual point. So find something on the wall in front of you that you could, even if it's me, I'm moving around a bit, but something you can look at that you can't take your eyes off. This is going to help you fix, right? And we know balance is vision, inner ear, and proprioception, right? Brain, balance in the space. So you're going to finish this last one here. Everyone looks very stoic. And then you're going to relax. Good. Okay. So we're going to do it again one more time. Now, if you struggled, you felt that you were wobbling a lot and you couldn't keep your balance, you're going to do the same thing. If you were like, I'm a statue and I didn't move at all, you're going to add in a head turn. Dun, dun, dun. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but you will surprise yourself. So we're going back to our first leg. Remember, you can have it lifted on the shin or on the thigh. Choose your option. Lift up out of your waistline. And first of all, just get a bit of stillness. Find your posture. Find your balance. Then, if you're confident in this position, I want you to see if you can turn your head to the right. Then turn your head to the left. And I want you to see how many head turns you can do whilst keeping your balance, okay? Now, the reason that this is difficult is because that visual system, that fixed point, has to work harder because the body is telling itself, oh, my eyes are telling me we're moving. My inner ear is suggesting we're moving. And your body's trying to figure out where it is in the space, okay? If you have a wobble, don't worry, stop. Shake it off, yeah, and you can do the other side. Nice work, guys. If you find you're wobbling and you want to have your finger on the wall and try the head turn too, you can as well, just so you can see how it feels. Okay, so find your composure to start, and then when you're ready, start with that head turn. I suggest going slowly and think of using your eyes as if you were tracking like a little fly or like a little mosquito that was running across the face and then flying right across, so nice and slow. Yes, guys. Beautiful work. Yeah, and have a giggle when it's finished and you think, oh, it's a good thing. We want to have fun in our class, right? and relax. Relax, gang. So how did that feel? Was it a little bit more challenging? Yeah, yeah. So our next exercise is a little balance drill I call rock the boat. Okay? Now, you've got 2 foot positions you can choose. You can either have your feet together, which is the harder of the 2, or you can have your feet hip width apart. So if you don't feel so confident on your balance, use your wall, have your feet hip width apart. If you're feeling brave, you're going to have your feet together. Now, the reason it's called rock the boat is because you know that feeling when you're stood on a ship and you don't move, but maybe the ship moves. Exactly. Everybody did this, right? And that is exactly what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rock forward. So this is our like Michael Jackson, our smooth criminal, yeah? And then we're going to go back. Now, ideally, I'm cheating, I'm using my arms. You want to keep your arms down at your side and your body wants to move in one piece, yeah? So like stiff as a board, forward and back. Now you'll notice as you press your weight forward, your toes will switch on. Do you feel it? You get this grip in your toes. And that is one of our first defenses against falling, right? Our big toe is a main stabilizer, a balancer in our foot. So this is a really good way to practice that big toe strength. And you know, once you've done it a couple of times, you can get confident. You can really see how far you can go. Okay. So once you've done forward and back, I want you to see if you can do side to side. To be honest, side to side is a little bit better if you have your feet wide or like hip width apart. Aim to keep the feet still rooted. So I'm not lifting my feet up, but I am rocking in one motion from side to side. Now, what we don't want to do is have the body bend, right? Like the hips go and the body doesn't. Oh no. Stiff as a board, yeah? You're standing on the deck of that beautiful ship. It's kind of windy. That's it, guys. Nice. Good. Now, if side to side feels easy, I want you to see if you can go diagonal. So front corner to back corner. Front corner to back corner. Then see if you can change other front corner to other back corner. Other front corner to other back corner. Then see if you can make like an X. So we go from one side to the other side. Yes. So this is teaching us to keep that strong center as we shift that waist. Nice. Miranda, keep those feet glued on the floor. So imagine you had like booties and the feet couldn't go anywhere, just the body. And for you, if it feels easy, if anyone is like, oh, this is easy, take your feet narrower. That's going to make it harder. And if it's still too easy with feet together, you can even do it in tandem stance. If you want to get brave, one foot in front of the other. But maybe we'll save that for next time. Good, guys. And I want you to finish your last one here. You can stop. The bad weather's gone. Give your hips a little shake, okay? So that's a little drill that you can practice daily. Now, the last thing I want to instill in you about balance is, of course, it is about being able to catch ourselves. But one thing that helps us catch ourselves is footwork, right? Having a little bit of having good reaction time in our feet, okay? And this doubles up as your impact training. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to stamp your feet as hard as you can. Well, if you are doing, if you've had a spinal fracture, I don't want you to stamp as hard as you can, but you can still stamp, okay? If you haven't had a fracture, then you can go for it, yeah? But I want you to move those feet as fast as you can. If you can run on the balls of your feet, like flash dance, maniac, I want you to do it. Yes, yes, Marie. Oh my gosh. And now we need to the maniac. Yeah, play that in your mind. That's what we want. Exactly. Fast feet, fast feet, fast feet. Now see if you can go fast feet, wide feet. Yes, fast feet and wide feet. That's it. Now if it's too fast, you go at your pace. Fast feet and wide feet, right? When our feet move quickly, when we react quickly, if we were to trip, whoop, that's what's going to catch ourselves. So these drills may seem a bit silly, but they all have a purpose. We want to reduce that risk of fracture. And then I want you to keep your feet wide. I want you to go to the right, like a little crab. And then I want you to go to the left. That's it, to the right. That's it, to the left. That's it, to the right. Yes, to the left. And then relax. Shake those feet out. Impact and a little bit of fast footwork, right? That's another thing we want to be conscious with our bones. We want to be doing kind of activity that gets our heart rate up for a short period of time, right? Works that hard in an interval and then rest. So this could be, if you take your daily walk, see, oh, I'm out of breath now. Whew. When you take your daily walk, see if you can walk as fast as you can for 40 seconds and then rest. Or 30 seconds or 20 seconds, and then rest in between, just so we're challenging our bones. That's what we need to be. We need to be challenging our bones all the time. So now I can breathe. We're going to finish with a final balance. You're going to have your heels together and your toes apart, and you're going to imagine you've got a 50-pound note between your butt cheeks. This locks in, keeps our pelvis really nice and stable. You're then going to find a focus on the wall in front of you as you take your hands behind your head. I want you to press your head into your hands and find that elongation that we found at the beginning of class. Rise up onto your tiptoes, hold, and then lower the heels, but keep lifting your head up out of your neck and shoulders. Yes, and we go again. We rise up onto our tiptoes. Heels go down, but we keep lifting our head up, 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 up. Last one here, we rise up. And this time we stay up on our tiptoes. We stretch our hands up towards the ceiling. From there, I want you to press down your hands, your shoulders, and your heels. Take a final breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. You guys are all done.